Hi everyone, Larissa at Prodigal Pieces here. I'm excited to be back for another month of our Reduce, Reuse, Refashion series that I have some blogger friends joining me. We are excited to be doing this because we're hoping to inspire you to create your home, to create your fashion even, make use, upcycle, just DIY in general. So be sure to pop on over to the blog, prodigalpieces.com. You'll see the links to their projects there. Also down below, if they have another YouTube video that can go along with this, I'll have the links to that or to their post too. But do just join us, have some fun, even see the past month's projects just to be inspired. Today is all about belts. You know, when you go to the thrift store or maybe even in your own closet, they get outdated or just don't fit anymore. You know who I'm talking to, right? But just, they can be in surplus, especially for us ladies. And I thought it'd be fun to find a use for them because even your kids, they grow out of theirs. What could you do with them? But what I have here, I went to the thrift store to the glass section and I found these cute little canning jars. And I made these little hangers and they're perfect for hanging, for even just on the table, but we'll be putting votives in them. I'll show you how to assemble this one, and also what I'll be doing live from this angle is a braided version using this belt right here. So just so you can have the tip on both. At the end, stick around, I'll show you what I do with a set of jars to kind of make a caddy. There's different ways to do this, all fun, all easy, all absolutely done on a budget. So I hope you'll enjoy. So I'm going to grab the largest jar here and kind of try to do this backwards so you can see it from a different angle. What I like to do is put the belt obviously on the jar and cinch it up as best as I can to figure out where placement would be of the buckle. Well, this jar has the text here, so I want the buckle to land kind of in the middle. The jars are square. So I'm going to pull it tight and kind of mark where I'm going to cut and take my scissors and close your eyes and cut, right? So we're good. Belts are super cheap to get at the thrift store, and you'll have fraying like that, and that's okay. I'm heating up my handy dandy hot glue gun, battery operated lifesaver. Love this thing. It's not often that I use the fingertip protectors, but I do recommend them because I have been burned oodles of times, but they do make it nice. What I'm going to do while that's heating up is, if you notice on the cut off part of the belt, there's this little leather casing strap. I'm going to remove that and actually attach it back on here so it looks like it's the actual belt. So give me a minute to do that. Okay, I'm leaving the threading intact, kind of. You could use a seam ripper. I'm just trying to show you how to do this with basic tools. And I'm going to take a little bit of the hot glue to kind of, if you will, a fray check to kind of keep this fraying belt from coming undone and keep it easy to maintain. I'm just going to wipe a little bit on the ends there. So I'm going to take a minute to show you how to attach the leather. With this one, I'm mainly using hot glue for most of it. With this leather one, I kind of did a stitch detail to make it look handmade. I like the effect, the look of that. It's easy with just a thread and needle. I used upholstery thread doubled over so it's nice and thick, or you could use embroidery floss, anything like that really, to give that hand stitched effect. Got the leather bit on there. Now I'm going to put it onto my jar and cinch it down. We're going to kind of do a fitting so that this sits nice and tight. As far as hanging these outside, or even inside actually, I'm not opposed to the idea, but I definitely, in this next step, instead of going from here to here like it is on this one, I might go all the way down and around and make sure it's absolutely secure, because you just don't know, with especially outside, weather changes, fluctuates, the adhesive could buckle and give way, and we don't need to hear glass crashing down, right? So what it's on here loose, meaning not glued, and I'm gonna take my scrap and kind of get an idea of the sizing I want for the strap there, and just cut, and again use a little bit more hot glue to make the ends have like that fray check on it. You could use fray check, the actual product, but hot glue works just as good in this instance. Put this on, and in this one, like I said, I'm going to just be gluing it on because I'm not intending to hang these, but I could stitch on like I did the others. And what I like to do too, put this on, and it's hard kind of with this, but it does work. Take a pencil, kind of line up where you want the pieces to go, and make a little mark on both sides here. Okay, I'm going to undo the buckle and then attach the strap on the top to the places that I had marked. Okay, so now I'm going to have both sides attached. There are two ways you can do the attaching of the rest. You can see when I did the leather, I had it assembled and then put it on, and then in the braided one when I did this one here, I had it open like this and attached it. It's really what you prefer. I would say this one is a bit messier. If you're careful, you can get on without much mess. This one is more of a danger for the fingers. So again, you could use those fingertip protectors to protect your fingers. If you're nervous about that, you'll probably watch me burn myself here. But what I'm going to do is stick a bead, heavy bead around the thread here, and then kind of put this on. For this, I'm going to be turning it towards me because I really, like I said, don't want to burn my fingers. You don't need to hear me screaming, right? This stuff hurts. Okay, so real quick, kind of get your buckle centered first. It's going to look odd initially, but we'll get the buckle centered. There it went. Got my finger centered first, then buckle it like you would your own belt around your waist. If it'll cooperate here. And of course, by cinching it the tightest you can, these braided versions make it easy. When it comes to the ones that are leather that you need a hole punched, you're just going to have to eyeball and size it the best you can. I really love this tool, the Crocodile. If you wanted to make your own mini belt with just a piece of leather, you can punch your holes for that here. You can even add grommets for a little decorative touch too. So, all right, here we go. We've got our set of jars. Wouldn't these be great as hostess favors or setting for a wedding on each table, a set of these? It'd be fun to even use a loved one's belt, I hate to say that, maybe passed on, to make a little memento, something to cherish, maybe filled with memories. I'm gonna showcase the other pieces I've created for you. I think you'll kind of get the idea once you see what I did, but stay tuned. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly had fun sharing. I was inspired by the belts, seeing so many in the thrift store. Maybe some were being pitched because they weren't being used. So I thought, gotta find a use for those belts outside of the obvious. My little jars here, I'm excited for the uses I can find for them in and around the home, and really enjoyed sharing with you. So again, I invite you to come over to the blog, prodigalpieces.com, for our reduce, reuse, refashion series and all the wonderful bloggers have to share with you. I also invite you to subscribe below if you're on YouTube here. Love to have you see what else I have available here for you. If you sign up for my newsletter, you get all this information right in your inbox for free, along with some other freebies and discounts to my shop. And I also invite you just to leave me a note saying you enjoyed the tutorial, or what you would do maybe with some belts that you have hanging around that you're not using. I'd love to hear from you. That's why I'm here. Until next time, Larissa at Prodigal Pieces. Bye.